So I know there are these techniques where you fold the paper in half and everything, but that isn't always the way you want your portrait on your page. So we're talking about the face of the portrait. So you've got an oval here, and I'm using a light, a hard pencil, just to kind of give a rough sketch of where things are going to be on the page. And then when you've got a straight on, like a driver's license type portrait, and you can use a mirror, but I don't want to see like a big toothy grin or a big smile, because when you're studying yourself in the mirror, which is the way self-portraits were done years ago before we had computers, you wouldn't be smiling at yourself because you're looking, it changes your facial expression and everything. So you create an oval, just a real simple oval, and then you just cut it in half. And my oval is on the top of the page because I'm going to have the neck down here and some shoulders, right? So it's not going to fill the whole page, but if you've got your oval here, that's your face. And then you always cut your face in half horizontally. And that's where your eyes go. And then you cut, if this is the chin, you cut that space in half. So this space here and this space here are equal. And that's where your nose is. And then you cut this space in half. And that's where the mouth is. So, of course, everyone's unique, but those are very basic guidelines, right? And then, straight down the middle is, the left half of your face and the right half of your face. So these are just very rough guides, and I've been kind of going around and around with the oval. I'm just going to lighten everything up. So with those things in place, you can start. People usually start with the eye. So there's like one eye in between the two eyes, right? There's the bridge of the nose, and then you've got an eye here and an eye here. And the eyelids always overlap, well, most of the time they overlap the iris of the eye. And then you've got the nose here, right? And this is when you start identifying what's unique about that person's nose. And then so the edge of the nose is where the tear duct is, right? And then where the mouth is, like I hardly have a mouth, is where the pupil of the eye is. So if you come from the pupil down, that's about where, of course, everybody's face is different. So these are just rough guidelines. So and there's always a little bit of a curve here for the lip, And this is the bottom lip, right? And then the chin. So looking at how I perceive myself. And when you're drawing a woman, just in general, you want to keep things very clean and simple. I know you think about the shape of the nose, and you don't have to actually, you can think about the shape of the nose and the shadows that are cast rather than, and you want to keep especially with women, you want to keep things very soft and not too harsh. Keep your lines very simple. I'll just work over here on this side. So I tend to work on this side first and then move over here, because if you start over here and you start working over here, the edge of your hand starts smudging things. So, and these guides, right, you can always erase these guides and get a better look at your drawing. Here's my little brush to get rid of my eraser marks. And so rather than just drawing outlines, I like to kind of work sculpturally with with shapes. So there's this shape that comes up from my eyelid up here, to my hairline, and then there's a whole bunch of hair here. So that's, you know, you might think that the eyes should be further up, but they're in the, you've got a lot of brain up here that needs to be filled. And then this comes in here, and then this kind of comes in here. And this is where you start, you're identifying what's unique about this person. How can I make this drawing look like this person? And there's a whole bunch of hair, and my shoulder kind of comes at where my cheek is, or, well, my lower cheek here, and then kind of a jowl here. Didn't used to have those, but then things happen. So I've got a line that comes off of my nose here. I'm just kind of using that as a parallel for my shirt. So you want to keep those to a minimum. I have an earring over here, and my shoulder kind of comes out here. My hair is kind of coming out there. My shirt is not coming out there. So I might be exaggerating these things. a bit, or maybe not. So with, maybe I don't want to, I want to enhance, if I was drawing a woman, and I wouldn't want her to feel bad about the jowls she has, like I have here, I might minimize them to make her look a little prettier. Like I've got my face is sagging here, but I might minimize them just to make myself look a little bit more attractive. Can't afford a facelift. But that's part of what happens when we age. And kind of baggy eyes. My eyes are tired. It's late. I have... So, yeah, these are eyelashes, right? Down here. And these are my eyebrows. I kind of go up and then the shape of the face. So this is where I'm just going to start kind of shading some of this. So I'm going to be using this kind of cross hatching. This is in shadow. And this is very dark in here, right? So you're looking at the shadow shapes, and you can almost forget about what it is you're drawing. Just look at the shapes of the lines and the shadows. I've got a bit of a highlight there. And this is, and women tend to be pretty good at drawing eyes because they're always doing their makeup. And I have this, my eyes are kind of baggy, but I'm not going to draw that because that's not particularly attractive. So I'm gonna just kind of pay attention to some other shapes that will help define me. Don't forget to use your eraser. So this side of my mouth is darker than the other side. I don't have much lip here, much upper lip showing. But I do have some shadow under here. That's my nostril. And then I have like an indentation here. You don't want to give too much weight to that because it'll just start looking, you might even just ignore that, because it might end up looking like a mustache. Just pay attention to the shadow that the lower lip is creating and the chin. And this. I've got this huge highlight, and I've got this my eye here. So eyes are not necessarily always symmetrical. So if there are things that bug you about your face, ignore them. But if it is very distinguishing, if it's a very distinguishing feature where you might not recognize who it is, you might reconsider putting it in. So I know this is taking a while, and they take a while. Drawing takes a while. You see these fast sped up images, videos online, and they make it look so easy, but it takes time, right? Anything worth doing, it takes time. See this? I don't like this. Eyes are so important to get right. See? Graphite, just smudge the graphite. Right, there we go. And I've got this. There's this highlight kind of going up here. And I've got this kind of going down here. And this whole area under my nose is kind of in shadow. Let's see here. So this is I got this over here. Make this nose a little bit more distinct. That it is in shadow. there. So right in the middle, I've got this thing coming out here. Of course, you know, with hair, you can kind of do whatever you want. So then you've got this, it's all very dark back here. So I've just been working with, kind of going to town here with this this pencil, and I've got this shape here, and then so this whole area in here is kind of dark. So I'm gonna step it up a notch and get a darker pencil, and I'm going to my irises and the very dark areas of this is like up here. Darken in this area. And you can have some indication of line of how the hair is up here. And then there's a highlight. This is all very dark in here. So you can go over it a couple times. Yeah. And this is very dark here. Then you start looking at you know, the lights and darks of places. Like this whole area is very dark. And I'm using the side of my pencil. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off and start and try to finish it up.